What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So it's very interesting the way this particular weekly rotation shook out, because every single fragrance in this video could be a viable signature scent worthy fragrance for any man's collection. Obviously, taste will dictate what suits certain people better than others, but literally everything here could be just that one fragrance on your dresser that you wear for everything. It's kind of weird the way the rotation shook out. So I'm sure I'll title it as such because it absolutely fits this particular rotation. And it's week number 187. So let's get into it. Stay tuned. Starting with one of the most polarizing fragrances to come out in a very long time, Dior Sauvage Eau de Toilette. That's right, I revisited this one, and some people love it, some people hate it. It's very polarizing. But that's what happens with popularity. It's going to be a polarizing thing where there's going to be people on both sides of the fence. So, bright citrus, spicy, shower gel type of scent profile. Very peppery, clean, just it works for everything. It smells really good, performs really well, works in every situation. In a past work situation, they had 6 guys that I worked with. Admittedly, I think a few of them were the eau de parfum, but I think the majority, maybe 4 or 5 of them, were wearing the eau de toilette. But there's certain workplaces where this is the dominant signature scent. I've come across people throughout my life in different areas, different places at the gym and so on that have told me this is their favorite fragrance. This is what they go with, and I totally understand why people reach for this, because it's just, there's no bad situation for it. Most people really like the way this smells. Women, men wearing it. It's just a great, absolutely signature scent worthy type of fragrance that, you know, love it or hate it, at some point you've smelled this on somebody. And now it won't necessarily set you apart from the crowd, obviously, because it's extremely popular. But if you want a safe play that's great for everyday wear, you can go with Sauvage EDT, and that's what I wore out during the day. So out the shower all week long, I've been wearing this one because, as you can see by the bare backdrop box over there and stuff, I am moving in about 2 weeks, literally 15 days at the recording of this video. I am moving states, so I've been packing a lot of things up, and this bottle was on its last leg, so I've made it my mission this week to finish it up, and tonight out the shower will be the final spraying. But most of the week out the shower, I went with Tommy Cologne by Tommy Hilfiger. You see how low the juice level is on here. That's maybe 1 ml left. I will spray that this evening and finish it off. But more importantly, this is one of the most iconic 90s fragrances that even today in 2023 is still signature scent worthy. This is a great fragrance. As long as you're not expecting all day long longevity and performance, and you don't mind respraying, this will work. It has a woodsy, slightly bitter green, fresh and spicy, light citric tone, a little woodsy and musky as it dries. This is a beautiful fragrance, an all-time great in my opinion, especially for the topic at hand. When it comes to signature scent fragrances, when I was in 6th grade, this was the first fragrance I ever asked my parents to get me a gift set for Christmas. This is a monumental fragrance in my personal journey over the years, and I've been through many bottles at this point. This is either the 6th or 7th bottle I've been through. I do have another 50 milliliter and another 30 milliliter I don't need to rebuy. I've been having backup bottles, but if for some reason you've never tried this one, you can get them cheap from discounters online. I'll try to have links to everything down below. Try Tommy Cologne. If you like green, fresh, versatile, woody fragrances, you'll probably like this. Out the shower, Tommy by Tommy Hilfiger. Moving into Monday is the brand new release from Kajal Perfumes. They were nice enough to send this my way, and I have to say I'm digging it. They have been really putting their best foot forward with these highly versatile masculine releases. The last one being Kajal Ferris. This time we have Kajal Masa. So the color of this bottle is very fitting. Obviously, it's a very fancy bottle with the sapphires and the crystals on top. And the emeralds and everything. It's a beautiful, beautiful presentation, but the main thing about this one is it melds 2 worlds together to make for a very unique, extremely versatile and masculine fragrance. So it's watery fresh, but green, spicy, earthy, and woody. Watery fresh, that's its own thing. Mixed with a few of the other accords. That's a thing, I get that. There's many fragrances like that, but spicy, earthy, green, and woody normally doesn't go hand in hand with very watery fresh. It's kind of contradictory in some ways. How they were able to blend this and pull this off is pretty impressive. It makes for a very desirable, masculine, not playful, youthful, synthetic, Sauvage-like type of blue fragrance. No, no, no. This is something that I think the 25-year-olds on up would really appreciate if you want something that is great for every day. I think this one will dress up and dress down and work in pretty much every situation as a signature scent should. From casual to work to evenings, every season, every attire from dressed up, dressed down, whatever. It'll work for all of that. The quality's top tier, the performance is great, but it doesn't smell like anything else that I have. There's nuances and essences that will remind you maybe of certain things that create these certain accords, but the total blend, I can't think of a specific fragrance this reminds me of, more so than a genre and style, which is very fresh while being earthy, green, and woody. Odd combination, but a great combination. I would encourage you to get a sample. This is their newest release, Kajal Perfumes Masa. And like I said before, I'll be brief since we talked about it already, but Out the Shower, Tommy Cologne by Tommy Hilfiger, which was literally all but one night in this particular rotation. Moving into Tuesday is one of the most underappreciated fragrances from the House of Creed. We're talking about Original Santal. I just did a full review on this. I have a decant that's missing an 8 ml decant that's missing a few ml. I've had a carded sample in the past. This has been a bucket list fragrance for many years for me. I'm so glad to have it. If you like sandalwood fragrances, you'll probably really enjoy this. It's very spicy, a little fruity sweet, warm yet not too much for the warm weather. Because typically these warm and spicy, heavily woody fragrances are a little much for summertime, where I think in indoor setting it's totally fine and not the highest of humidity and heat. It'll work, but year-round, I think this is an underappreciated signature scent. It is most notable that it's similar to Mont Blanc Individuel, which apparently came out before this one, so people say Creed was copying them, and who knows, maybe that is the case. But when you put them side by side, never fails, always something loud by the window. But when you put them side by side, this is a clear-cut step above in quality and the way the blend comes across. There's no synthetic tone. It doesn't have that dryer sheet smell, that kind of fabric softener feel that Mont Blanc Individuel has, which I'm a huge fan of. I've been through a bottle of it. I'm on my second bottle. But this is so much better. I would encourage you to sample first. Some may not deem it worth the money because it is an expensive fragrance. But if you have the money to spare and you want quality over quantity, you don't want the cheaper smelling version, basically, is how you can look at it. You want the more expensive smelling one that smells of higher quality ingredients. Performance is slightly above average, not monstrous like maybe older bottles used to be, older batches. This one's still no slouch in performance, but it won't overwhelm anyone, and it's very masculine. You might want to look into this one. During the day, Creed Original Santal. And then, as stated before, once again, I had grabbed Tommy Cologne for my out the shower choice. Moving into Wednesday. Now, this is a bit more enthusiast level with the way the blend comes across. Definitely a great everyday wear, though inspired when you compare it to the original it's flankered from. This is definitely the evening appropriate version, but you can absolutely wear this signature scent during the day. But you have to like herbal, spicy, and fresh at the top. Fresh, spicy, herbal, a little green, with a nice creamy floral heart full of resins and incense and vetiver. We're talking about my creation with Zaharoff called Evening Mystique. I hadn't wore it in a little while. It was nice to reach for it. It's been, like I said, it's been a little bit since the last I sprayed it. If you're a fan of Iris, you really should try this one. If you like resins like myrrh and olibanum frankincense, you'll probably like this. It's a creamy, clean patchouli. And a lot of people have told me they get a lot of the vetiver in the base. That's definitely the woody nuance that you'll get from here. It's the only real woody note. But there is a nice ambery tone to it. It's not just a cool looking juice color. It is an ambery and rich resinous type of fragrance that isn't too heavy to wear in warmer climates. Now, again, just like with Original Santal, I wouldn't recommend this in scorching, Southeast Texas, 100% humidity, heat index of 115. I wouldn't recommend it for that. But pretty much hot weather, not scorching hot weather, onto cold weather, this will work. It does have a little bit more of a class and elegance to it, so it dresses up even better than it dresses down casually, though I do wear it with a t-shirt. No issue whatsoever. Obviously, I would suggest you sample this one. You don't have to blind buy it. You can get a sample for $5 in the link down below, and just try it out. You can get a 2 ml sample, see it's for you. If you want to grab a bottle, grab a bottle. But at least you'll get the experience and know if it's for you or not, because like I said before, if you're a fan of iris and resins, you owe it to yourself to give it a shot. Not just because it's my creation and, you know, between myself and Claude Deer in collaboration with Zaharoff, because Claude Deer did perfume this for me through my direction. It's masterfully done, if I do say so myself. So during the day, Evening Mystique, my collaboration with Zaharoff. Then we got the shower, stuck with the brand. It was time for a good shave, so I went with Zaharoff Signature Citrine Shave Set. This is the splash. And this is the fragrance, which is now out of stock at the website. It will be featured in the European market once Europe and France opens, so it's no longer available in the States. In order to get it in the future, you'll have to import it. It'll still be for sale from Zaharoff, just from a different market, a different country's market, basically, is what it is. But this one's more of a sweet, fresh orange with a limey type of feel from clementine. Definitely get plenty of incense from this. There's a sea amber note that offers a little bit of this salted amber feel. Doesn't really make it aquatic or anything like that, but it's a true freshie. It's, like I said, orange. It's a smoky orange is how you can look at it at its most simplistic tone. There's other things going on here with resins and woods and all that stuff. It does have the signature pour homme DNA, but at its core, it's all about that clementine and sweet orange. Just beautiful, beautiful stuff. Out the shower, Zaharoff Signature Citrine. Moving into Thursday. Now, if you like juicy grapefruit, you'll probably like this. This is a clone of an extremely amazing and popular, bordering niche. It's a private blend, really. Fragrance from Bulgari called Tigar. This is Afnan's rendition called Turathi Blue. Super juicy, rich, spiced grapefruit. Woody as it dries down. There's nothing crazy complex or complicated about this fragrance. It just outright smells great. It has depth for being citrus dominant, and it lasts pretty well. Whew, man, that's beautiful. So this is one that you can wear all the time, just like you would with Bleu de Chanel. There's a little bit of similarity to Bleu de Chanel, but that's not what it's cloning. It's definitely a clone of Bulgari's Tigar. And I do have a carded sample of Tigar, and I gotta say it is pretty close. While it can't encapsulate the magic of the original, it is not on the same level. But for around $30, it's hard to complain versus $300 to $400. It gets pretty dang close. So if you've ever smelled that and you want a great affordable take, I'm telling you, you can't go wrong here. This is some really good stuff. Like I said, it's as simple as I made it sound. Juicy, rich, slightly ripe grapefruit, spices, and woods. That's what you're going to get. You get it from start to finish. It lasts for about 7 or 8 hours on my skin, and it will pull a compliment or two here and there based on my experience. And it's very affordable. That's always a plus. So during the day, Afnan's Turathi Blue. And then when I got the shower, we were right back to the well with Tommy Cologne by Tommy Hilfiger. Moving into Friday, the reason I even went with this one was my buddy Randy had texted me to let me know that Ralph's Club Elixir was available from Ralph Lauren's website and Macy's website. So I jumped on there and ended up buying the Elixir. So to celebrate it, I went with Ralph's Club Parfum. If you haven't smelled this one, this is the one to beat. This is the one the Elixir has to top. Because the original Ralph's Club, which is an eau de parfum, which this is still an eau de parfum. It's just a little bit higher oil concentration, but that's a beautiful kind of blue fragrance. Very aromatic, green. It's lavender and sage mixed with some cedar wood. Very blue, bright, slight fresh and spicy, easy to like. Super mass appealing stuff. Here, you still have that core DNA, but it's a little bit more resinous and spiced and kind of smoky feeling. I don't even remember if there's olibanum or guaiac wood or anything like that in here, but it has a little bit of a smoky nuance on my skin. Much richer, warmer, smoother overall, still super mass appealing. You could wear this one every day. It's not, when I say richer, thicker, warmer, smokier, all that, doesn't stop you from wearing it in the summertime. It's the summertime. I wore it yesterday at the recording of this video. Today's Saturday at the recording of this. I wore this yesterday on Friday. Does totally fine in the heat. It was 92 degrees outside, and I was outside for a good bit of the day. does fine. Not going to scream off of your skin. It's not going to just grab every single person's attention when you walk by, but it does have a sillage that tends to linger because it is a slightly higher oil concentration. It's super inviting. It's very versatile. This one, I think, does dress up better than the original, though is just as casual as the original. So this is worth trying, even though there's excitement around the new iris, incense, and patchouli combination of the elixir. Like I said, I'm very excited about that. This is still the one to beat, because this one's so fantastic. Such a great signature scent option that does not get enough love, honestly. During the day, Ralph's Club Parfum from Ralph Lauren. And then when I got the shower, again, it was back to the well with Tommy Cologne by Tommy Hilfiger. Finally, on Saturday, it's what I have on my skin right now. I have 5 sprays on, and this is more for you guys on the Gulf Coast region. I'm going to talk specifically about the States because I live in the United States. So, Gulf Coast region, warmer climates, hot, humid. You like fresh fragrances most of the time year-round. So if you've ever been a fan of YSLY Eau de Toilette, the original, you'll probably like this Bonafide cheapie from John Varvatos. This is XX Artisan Teal. And I gotta say, it smells very much like Y, but it's more like iodine, salty, slightly aquatic. Not slightly aquatic, it's aquatic. So there's driftwood, there's sea salt, there's a water lily note. Like, all of this really provides this lightly, for as much salty notes as in here, you would think it'd be a super salty bomb. Because they have sea salt, driftwood, which is typically salty, and musk, which can come across as salty, especially if they're just listing musk and it's a synthetic ambergris, typically a salty musk. Point being, it's not overly salted, which is a great thing. It's very aquatic and watery. There's a little bit of a fruity tone, though it's citruses, but it does have a little bit of a fruity tone to it, which kind of ties it to smelling like YSLY, but like I said, more saltwater marine take on YSLY. I love it. I'm a big fan of this one. Very underappreciated, very affordable, 4.2 ounce. I paid $39 from fragrancebuy.ca. It's pretty hard to beat. I'm a huge fan of this one. And if I wasn't planning on finishing this bottle tonight, because tonight I'm finishing this bottle, we're going to touch on that in a second, I would wear this again tonight. It's a joy to wear. If you're in a high humidity, hot climate, this is a great choice for you year-round because the winters aren't really all that wintry. I was born and raised in South Louisiana, spent a few years in Southeast Texas. I'm moving to the Panhandle in Florida. I'm used to the high heat humidity, so I get it. I understand. So that's why I wanted to feature this one. This is why I wore this one. And this is why I'm specifically telling guys like you that are from those areas like me, you should probably try this one. If you want something fresh, that's very, very enjoyable, very attractive to others, because YSLY itself is one of the most complimented fragrances I've ever worn. I recently got this one, so it's not like it's been some magnet for me for compliments. I haven't spent a ton of time with it, but man, it's good stuff. If you're out in the humidity, this is probably a great signature scent option for you. During the day, John Varvatos XX Artisan Teal. And then, like I touched on a moment ago, when I get out the shower in a little bit, I'm finishing this off. I'm spraying the rest of it. If it's 6 sprays, 10 sprays, 12 sprays, whatever the hell it is, I'm finishing it. 20 sprays, I don't care. I don't think it'll be that much. I think I'm probably looking at like 12 or 13 sprays maybe to finish this bottle. Like, I'm literally going to have to, luckily the atomizer stem goes into the corner. Like, literally I'm going to have to lean it like this and spray it. But that's what I got left in this 30 ml bottle, and I'm going to finish it up. May this bottle of Tommy Cologne rest in peace. I reiterate one more time, if you have never experienced this fragrance, it's not, I doubt it's going to be the greatest thing you've ever smelled in your life, but it might be one that makes you say, why had I never tried this one before? So give it a chance. It's a straight up cheapie, 90s in a bottle. If you're around my age group, you'll probably have a real appreciation for this scent profile. So out the shower tonight for the final time out of this particular bottle, Tommy Cologne by Tommy Hilfiger. Well, that was this past week's rotation, and until next time, do me a real quick favor, go ahead and like, comment, subscribe, because I do appreciate all the feedback, and I love hearing from you guys. What of the fragrances in this video have you tried or spent time with, or did any of it spark your interest? Maybe you're curious on checking it out, or maybe they weren't for you. Tell me how much you can't stand Sauvage. I'm sure I'm going to see at least one comment about that. To each their own. It's all subjective. It's an art form. Just because I like all these doesn't mean you will. And until next time, I got to say, if you get your hands on any of these and you give them a spray now, there is a real chance that you'll thank me later, especially if you have similar taste to me. Have a good one, guys.